Hello everyone, we are going to be doing a Q&A today. I'm really excited to answer all these questions. Why aren't you dating and are you too picky with men? I remember when I was in high school, I used to try to do a Q&A and be like, ask me questions, all that stuff, and I had maybe like one response, and then I would go in on another account and like act like I was someone asking me questions, and like I just didn't have anybody ask me questions. No one cared at all, which is fine. Like, of course no one cared. Like, you're in high school, you know, what are you doing? But I had a really big response on my Instagram and my YouTube community as well. We're gonna get right to it. What's something you do for yourself when you feel your cup is empty? When I feel really empty, I mentally have to sever whatever it is that's really stressing me out and giving me anxiety, or something that just makes me feel like not whole. So I like completely sever. I'm not sure if this is healthy, but I sever it and I focus on things that make me feel happy. So for instance, I love snuggling with my cats and playing on my Nintendo Switch. I just really adore that time. It really refills me. I'm an introvert. Many people don't know this and feel it, but an introvert is someone who fills their energy back up by being alone, and an extrovert is someone who fills their energy up by being with other people. And yes, there are some instances where people do recharge my social battery, but it's normally not the case. Normally, I recharge my social battery by going away and crawling into my little hole and being alone, being by myself. I love being independent. So I'm like, I need my independence to recharge myself so that I can do other things. So the next question, how do you cope with living alone? So for me, this may sound different because there's some people who don't like being alone and there's some people who love being alone. I don't normally cope with it. I love it. I love living alone. It took me a few weeks. I remember when I first moved into my London flat before my roommate got there, I had like a month before, and I was really scared because first of all, I've never been alone like that. And I've never been alone like that where like my parents were a flight away, like a 9-hour flight away. So that was a really scary and surreal moment. It made me grow a lot, but I don't normally cope with being alone, living alone. I really adore living alone because it is my time that I spend to do my hobbies. So I read a lot. I play games a lot. I watch my favorite TV shows, or TV shows that I want to watch without anyone else's judgment on it. I do my YouTube. I put a lot of time and effort into this channel, and I do that when I'm home alone and living alone. And I'm able to have dance parties in my living room by myself and just weirdly act like myself. I love living alone because I can truly act like myself, and over the past year, I've learned so much about myself, even more so. I know myself pretty well. I know there's going to be moments where I'm going to keep learning, of course, throughout life, but I feel like living alone, like I pretty know myself, like all the good and bad. I really like my independence. I love having my own space. I love my own space so much to where I get to the point where I'm worried about bringing in someone else, like even getting a boyfriend or even having a boyfriend. It's like, okay, how is he gonna fit into this girly apartment? How is a man gonna step inside my girly apartment and like be there? You know, like there's like a video trend right now. There's a TikTok trend, and it's like there's supposed to be a boy in here in this apartment, and the apartment is like the most cutest little thing ever, and it's so funny. It's just like, yeah, like are guys supposed to go into apartments like that? But yes, they can. Like, it's just a joke. The next question, let's go for the throat. Why aren't you dating and are you too picky with men? My mom might say I'm too picky with men, but guess what? I don't think I'm too picky with men. I have my standards. They're set at something. Now, for instance, when I was talking to the last guy I was talking to, that one guy I met in Austin and I actually really liked and hit it off with, I sort of, you know, really liked him. So there were some things where I'm like, I don't need to be so picky. Like him not opening my door every single time, that's normally a standard for me, and I want to keep it that way. But there were some times where I'd like not mention it or let it slide, and that's really big to me. Like opening my door, like I want a guy to open my doors. I do. I want a guy, I just want that that interaction. And he didn't for a few times, you know, so like something like that, I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, he didn't open my door one time when we were on this date, so I'm not dating him anymore. It's not even like that. It's just, I want to be with a guy who's like my best friend, who I am absolutely so in love with. I haven't met anyone recently who I feel that way about. So I'm patiently waiting. I'm pursuing myself and like learning about myself and my growth and how I can be a better human and things like that. But like, yeah, I'm waiting for a guy who first of all, who is so nice, so funny, and like just one of my best friends, and someone who I think is like really hot. I want to be really attracted to my partner, of course, but like my opinion, like I want someone who like I'm really attractive with. And you know what, to be fair, in Austin I have not seen many guys like out that I'm like, oh my gosh, like so cute, so attractive. So yeah, I am a bit picky when it comes to men. I don't date often at all, as y'all know. Like, y'all have been on this channel for how long, and I've never dated anybody, so like throughout that time of being on the channel. So yeah, I'm a bit picky. The next question, where would you like to be in 5 years? In 5 years, I'm 25 now, I will be 30, which is, wow. Hi, 30-year-old Izzy, if you're watching this ever. I don't know if you're gonna have YouTube, or I don't know where it's gonna be at, but that's kind of crazy to think. I would like to be in a career that I really love and that I feel like I'm making a really big difference in changing lives and just like inspiring people. I just want to be in that kind of career. I want to maybe own my own brand by that point, or at least know where I want to go with some kind of entrepreneurship goal, something like that. I'd say I'd want a boyfriend, maybe an engagement by then, or, you know, maybe not a husband or kids by 30, but like maybe some knowledge on that area, that love life aspect. If I could choose where I'm living, of course, you guys know I'm gonna say London. I'm gonna be in London when I'm 30, but that's sort of like the goals. Those are the goals I have like on my mind right now. There probably are more goals that I'm not even sharing right now or thinking about, but like that's the gist of it. Where do you think you'll eventually settle, Izzy? Leading question maybe. Well, I just answered it, so you guys know. London, England, alright? That's not a good British accent. I'd love to know more about how you found your job in Austin and how you knew it'd be a good fit for you. So I found my job on LinkedIn. I was applying to so many after post-grad, of course, like everyone else does, hundreds and thousands of jobs. And then this one landed on where the qualifications, I was like, you know what, I think I'd be really good at this. I think this is a job that I'm gonna like, that, you know, that's gonna be good for me, a good fit. So that's how I knew, like front hand, how I knew it was a good fit. Now, technically, no one can ever truly know if it's a good fit until you have 6 months or to a year experience within the role. And then that's when you decide, okay, is this a company I want to stay with? Is the work-life balance good? Am I actually enjoying my experience and what I'm doing? I would have to give that advice where you don't truly know fully. Even when you get the job, you could have a good gut feeling, and you know what, I think you will, but it will lead you exactly where you need to be and what you need to learn. Don't be too hard on yourself, and don't stress yourself out so much to where you're just nervous about making the wrong decision in your early career, because I don't think you ever truly can. Even if it's a wrong decision, technically it is a lesson learned, and it's something that should have happened. Everything happens for a reason. So I would just say, follow your gut, look at the qualifications, look at the responsibilities. When you interview with them, ask important questions, ask work-life balance, or like things that are important to you. Work-life balance, if it is the pay, the salary, like things like that. So if they align with what you want and what you think you want for yourself, then great. If they don't and you're sort of getting a weird vibe or something, back away. Along with this question, it goes, do you have any tips for someone freshly out of college looking for a job? Apply to everything. Even if you don't have the qualifications, sometimes like there's like a few things on there that you're like, oh, I don't do this, I don't know this. You're gonna learn that. You're gonna learn to do it. So apply to everything. If you get to the interview process, the worst that can happen is just say, you know what, actually we need someone with just a little bit more experience. So apply to everything. It takes time. It takes so much time to find a job, and I know how frustrating it can can be. Even like not even your first job. I know people like who are still applying to jobs when they have a job, and it's just super frustrating. The market is just terrible. Have faith, have perseverance, because it is a long road, but that is for everybody. Sometimes people get lucky and you hear those rare unicorn stories where people get jobs really fast, but that's not for everybody. Did you look a ton on LinkedIn? Yes. What qualities, traits, things did you do that you think specifically helps you get the job you have now? I was really truthful and I honored myself and I was who I am. And I'm like, this is what I bring to the table. This is my personality. I'm a bubbly person. I'm a good team worker. I work hard. Sometimes I can get distracted because I'm talking, but you know, I try to really focus on, like, we all have our pros and cons, you know? So really hone in to those traits that can reflect onto the work that you're gonna do. I love this question. Which lipstick do you wear in your vlogs? I really like that shade. Thank you. I will show you right now. It is the one I always do. I love talking about this, always. This is MAC. It is called Bated Breath. It is discontinued, but you can buy it on eBay. There's a lot of sellers on there who like collected it. Bated Breath MAC. And so I put that on first, and then I do the Summer Fridays brown sugar on top, just to give like a darker tint. Absolutely love this. Can you share just the general things? Favorite color, hometown, etc. My name is Izzy Hibiscus. That's how you say my last name. It is like a hibiscus flower is what I tell people. I am 25 years old. I live in Austin, Texas. My hometown is Petaluma, California, Northern California. I lived there for 15 years of my life, and then I moved to Georgia. I lived there for like maybe 7 to 8 years. I moved to Georgia because my mom and dad are from Georgia, so we have all of our family there in Georgia. My parents moved for a job when they had us in California, and they stayed out there for a job away from family. So that is sort of like my storyline. I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel. I vlogged when I was younger. I never posted these. I made skits and music videos. I posted those. Those are out on the web. I don't know how to take those down, but they're out there. So maybe one day I can share them. But I taught myself how to edit. I love videoing my life. I love recording and vlogging and all that stuff. I started it when I was a senior in college because I was going on a London study abroad that literally changed my life, and I know a lot of people joined during that moment. I did an undergrad study abroad, and then I did a master's in London after that because I loved it so much. So you guys all came along with that journey, and so now I'm living in Austin, Texas because I have a corporate 9-to-5 big girl job. I am currently actually doing this on my lunch break because I haven't had any time to vlog at all. My older sister and her boyfriend came this last weekend, and so I didn't vlog that because I was really trying to enjoy their company. But now I'm like, I have my blackberries right here, my turkey and mustard, that's it, in here, and my vegetable chips. So this is my lunchtime, and I'm trying to squeeze this in to do the Q&A because I want to hang out with y'all. I'm a huge Swiftie. I love Taylor Swift. I love the 1975. I love Lainey. I love the Goo Goo Dolls. I love the Fray, the Script. That is sort of kind of my music genre. Of course, Gracie Abrams too is in there. My favorite color, I don't really have a favorite color. I do love pinks and blues, and I really like this color. I just got this jacket. I really like this color. I am a natural blonde. I have blue eyes, and I am 5'6.5", 5'7" when I round up. What are your best tips for settling into a new city? I have experience here. My best advice is when you first move, it is going to feel raw, it's going to feel uncomfortable, and it's going to feel like you do not belong there. That is inevitable, but you will grow. Give it at least a year or at least 8 months. That's when you assess your feelings of how you feel about the city and the move and what you did. Because I feel like it's just, we're like cats. When you change environments or something is off, it like throws you off balance. Hindsight is 20/20 with moving after 8 months or a year. So you have to give it time. You have to give yourselves time to adjust and adapt. I would say too, put yourself out there. Whenever you get asked to go somewhere, like new friends and things, you say yes. If you have a co-working outing, go say yes, go do it. Even though you don't really want to do it, that is how you network, that's how you meet people. I met one of my best friends at my bar studio, and I complimented her socks, and so we've been friends since then. I met another friend because she was bold enough to come up to me and was like, hey, are you Izzy Biscuits? I'm new to Austin, Texas. I just moved here, and I've been watching your Austin, Texas vlogs because you just moved here too. So things like that. She is a great example of putting yourself out there. Like, we would not be friends if she didn't come up to me and say hi, and I would not be friends with Reagan probably if I did not compliment her socks. So put yourself out there as much as you can. I know it's uncomfortable, and I know it's just super hard, but you're in a new city. You have a lot of opportunity in front of you. Like, you have little experience and more opportunity. Just have to say, I've been watching since you first studied abroad when I was prepping to study abroad in the UK, and I'm now watching your other London vlogs as I prepare to move back to the UK this fall. You're such an inspiration to me. That being said, I've struggled a lot with comparing my first experience there to preparing to go back soon because it was such a good experience. How did you handle going back to be in the same dream place but with different people and circumstances? Like, try not to compare and just enjoy it. I had less experience even going back to London, even though it was the same place, but I had less experience because it was new people and I was like going back alone. I didn't have my American study abroad friends during my master's. Like, it was completely alone, so I had more opportunity. And so I'm really excited for you about this because yes, you're going to compare it to the past, but you have to remember too, you are in London. You are back in your dream study abroad, you know? So try to romanticize it as much as you can, make the most of it. New things are gonna happen and even better things are gonna happen. And you're gonna meet even more people, you're gonna have new friends, maybe you're gonna find a love interest there that you didn't before. You know what I mean? Like, you have all this opportunity in London still, so don't forget about that mindset. Who is your style inspiration? I would have to say Pinterest is my style inspiration, but one person that I've recently absolutely adore, and I just like think her page is just phenomenal, is Kezia Cook. And you know what? I met her in London when I was visiting my friends and surprising them back in October. I was at Joe and the Juice with all my friends. We were sitting outside at Sloane Square, like around there, and Kezia was like walking across the street and I like knew it was her because of her style and like what she was wearing. And I was like, I grabbed my friends. It's like, oh my gosh, that's Kezia Cook. And they're like, what do you mean? Who? And I'm like, well, no, she's like this amazing Instagram, whatever, amazing. So she crossed the street and then went into to Joe and the Juice and got something and sat outside by herself. So I was like, I have to go up and say hi. So I went up and I said hi, and I was like, I know you have no idea who I am, but I just want to say I love your Instagram. I think you are such an icon, and just keep doing what you're doing. And she was so sweet. She got up, she gave me a hug and was just like, thank you so much, all that. So I absolutely love her. So if you're looking for a new person to follow, Kezia Cook. Best advice for coming out of your shell when meeting new people. It is really hard to meet new people and to come out of your shell because I feel that you can really hold back when you meet new people because you don't want to be overwhelming, you don't want to be crazy, you don't want to be this person that's like, that they're not gonna like, right? But at the same time, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So I would say be yourself. I know you probably hear this a million times. Be yourself. If you feel judged, they should not be your friend. That's not a good friend for you. Leave. Bye. Maybe like find different topics that you really like to enjoy. So don't think too much on it. But for me, I'm like, I love cats. I love Taylor Swift. I love London. So those are like my 3 pillars of talking to people. So for instance, when I met Brooke, Abby, and Jess, these are like my best friends in London. When I first met them, apparently, I actually don't remember this, but they always laugh at it and say, Izzy, you came up and said, do y'all like Taylor Swift? And that's how I approached it in a way. So maybe just find a common ground. That's what relationships are. You can relate with people. Relationships. You know, but also you don't have to fully relate with them as well, because that can still be a relationship and a friend. Just generally, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. I wish I had more time to do my YouTube and focus more on that. So that is one thing I'm struggling with my 9-to-5 job, and just balancing and not being tired all the time. American corporate is like really hard, and I'm in that season where I'm like really grinding, and I'm really just trying to enjoy this season while I can. And I just miss London all the time. I miss a city that I didn't want to leave, and I'm grateful for everything though that I have now. I love my new apartment. I absolutely love my new apartment. I'm getting new wallpaper. I'll bring y'all along for that. Don't worry, that's gonna be a vlog. But I'm getting new wallpaper today, so I'm like gonna try to put it up myself. I DIY it. I'm like have a recipe I'm cooking tonight, some chili, things like that. And then I have a couch coming in on Thursday to decorate my space. So I'm really happy with a lot of things. So I'm really settled, and I'm happy to be where I am. So I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. I'm doing good. Have you ever had acne? Yes. Yes, I've had acne. There's some people on here who are going to be like, yes, like she's had acne. Like they can all vouch for me. If you have a moment, go to my vlog where I go to Taylor Swift. I fly home from London to Atlanta, Georgia, and I go to the Taylor Swift concert. You will see my acne. I was on Accutane at the time. My acne was so bad growing up, like during high school. It just like never went away. It was never cured. I went on Accutane in London. It is the best and worst time of my life. Mentally, I was a shell of a person. It was so bad. I've never been that mentally low, ever. I did not know that existed. I have empathy for a lot of people because now I understand what it felt like. So Accutane, the medicine, really messed up my self-worth, it was really bad. I got off of it, and this is my skin after. Now, I still have some breakouts every now and then, but I do not care. Like, I'm like, this is, even if I get like 5 pimples on my face, I'm like, this is great because of what I had and what it was on Accutane. It was so bad, so bad. Maybe I'll insert like one bad picture here of how bad it got. But yes, I had acne. And how did you get rid of it? I got rid of it from Accutane, but at the same time, I really don't want to fully promote that because of how sad I was mentally. So I want you to make sure that you're talking to your dermatologist or your doctor and really go through the pros and cons, because it can have a really harsh effect on some people, including me. It had a huge effect on me. So please, please, please talk to this about your doctor. Do not take my advice on this, like whether you should do it or not. Go to your doctor and talk about it. I also think there could be other ways to remedy it. It would include more research and more time to naturally do it, which I probably should have done. I just wanted a quick fix because I was so frustrated. And I know a lot of people get that way. And I know a lot of people are going to understand this and be like, yeah, like I understand. So please, please look it up first and talk to your doctor. How do you deal with the post-grad blues? Specifically, how do you deal with FOMO post-grad living at home? I want you to do this practice right now for FOMO. Look back on the last 5 years of your life and think about a party that actually changed the trajectory of your life or like made a significant difference with like your relationships or things like that. I'm gonna give you a second. You probably can't really think, you can't really identify, you know of like maybe some, like a general sense, but you probably can't truly like identify it. That's how I feel all the time. Maybe for me, one thing that I can think of was that one night I met that one guy that I thought was really cute and started kind of talking with. That, I feel like that like was memorable more so because a story came out of it and stuff. But like at the same time, that was supposed to happen. Like everything happens for a reason. So if you miss out on something, you're not supposed to be there. Or if you are at something and something happens, like you were supposed to be there. But don't feel like something that you're not at, you're supposed to be at because it's gonna change and you're gonna miss out on opportunity. That's not the case ever. I fully believe that you're not gonna miss out on opportunities that are for you. Also, if you start comparing your life to other people who are like getting jobs and you're not getting a job, it's a losing game and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they could be having a job, but then also a year later, they could get fired or they could get let off. Sadly, they could, but I'm like, if you're comparing like, you know, with like who has a job and who doesn't, it doesn't matter. Cause like they're gonna get laid off, but then like 3 months later, they're gonna get another job. So like you can't compare your life and your journey to someone else because it's just not fair. It's not a fair comparison because of all the factors of life. Don't make yourself feel bad that you don't have a job. It's not because you're not worthy and not because of you being an amazing, wonderful person and like super talented. It's not any of that. So like them getting a job is not the lack of you having that worth. We like to correlate that as humans, like, oh, this person's like succeeding here and this is this. That means I'm not worthy enough. Yes, you are. You are. So I would say like that would be sort of my mindset and advice for that. Advice on saving for your own apartment. Just started my first big girl job and want to be on top of it. Good for you. I'm so proud of you. Great job. You need to budget. You need a budget, YNAB. Other people have other apps. You can go on Etsy and go on Google Sheets and get a budgeting sheet and make it all cute and things like that, but just budget your money. Make sure you know exactly where all your money's going and make sure that you are investing it as well. I ran out of lunchtime, but I still have a few questions I want to answer. Favorite pieces from my closet. My long sleeve turtleneck black top. Like it doesn't have to be a specific brand name, but I love having that top because I wear it all the time underneath and I layer it. It's such a staple, a closet staple. I would say my favorite pieces are PJ sets whenever I'm wearing PJs. I love these jerk ones I have. I love the material. I think they're super cozy. They romanticize my evenings and things like that. I love my Lululemon mini flare leggings. Absolutely love those. I wear them to bar every single time. I have convinced a lot of people by just wearing them to buy them. I will add the link honestly below if you want to see. It's on my Shop My, so if you click on my link tree and stuff, not trying to sell, but like the link is there for you to have access to these items. If you could pick up and move somewhere right now besides London, where would you go? What's been on my mind recently is Boston. Boston has been on my mind, and the second one I would say is Chicago, because I've never been to either of those places, but I just feel like I would fit in really well in Boston. I just have an inkling. Also like has a lot of great architecture and old-timey vibes. You're really close to coastal, the eastern coast, Nantucket vibes, like things like that. So I don't know, I feel like I would really love my time there. Maybe that's in the future, I don't know, but that's where I would pick up and move to if I could. I wasn't able to get to every single question, but I am going to wrap it up with this one last question. What does your dream future look like? I feel like my dream future has changed a lot since I was in junior high, around there, but a lot of themes stay the same. I would love to be recognized for something that I've made a difference in, and I've helped people get through things, I've helped inspire people. I solved a problem through in business, an entrepreneurship journey, just made someone's life better. I encouraged them, just all of those things. So that's kind of what I want to do. So whether that's continuing like through YouTube, and I have like a YouTube channel that people love and like just feel comfortable in, and I can guide people with what I go through in life, my mistakes, my wins, like things like that, my mindset. Yeah, I would love a business that people really love and love the product, believe in the product, and then I feel like those would like snowball into other things. So like really fun things, like I know I would love, like one of my dreams is like to be asked to go to the Met Gala, like that's a dream that honestly sometimes I can't even wrap my head around. Like no way that would happen to me, but like if I say that, then of course it's not gonna happen to me. So I had to like believe in it to some extent, even if it's like delusional right now thinking about it. I would love to just be featured on like certain podcasts, like, you know, little achievements on the way, but I would love to be that person. And alongside that, my relationship with family is great, and my friends, like I continue just being around my friends and having a great time with them and a great life with them. I would say I really want a significant other, like a guy who is just like my best friend and everything to me, and so cute, and I'm just obsessed with him, and just brings that inner child out of me, and actually where I can like be a woman and not lead all the time, because I do that a lot. I'm a very independent leading person, a leader person. So I would really love to have him to like let me explore my feminine side a bit more, and that's like sort of what I want in a dream relationship. I have my kitty cats, my ragdoll cats. That's what I wanted like a while back, like that was one of my dreams, and you know what, I made it happen. So I have them now. I have my own apartment, which is another one of my dreams I achieved. I studied abroad and lived in London. I would love to move back to London and live there for a while, or even have a house there to like hop back and forth between a house here in the States and something like that. But I have a lot of big dreams, and a lot of time to do it. That's where we're gonna end at, because you have a lot of time to do all these things too. So thank you so much for spending time with me and getting to know me. I really appreciate y'all always clicking on my videos and watching and just messaging me on Instagram. I love seeing your messages all the time. So message me right now if you want to, and just say, I don't know, even if you are someone who doesn't normally comment, or even like let me know that, you know, you're subscribed or watching. I would love to hear from you. Absolutely love it. I am going to go to bed now. So I will see y'all later. Bye.